everyone, Wyloch here. I'm back from Charlotte, North Carolina, where I attended MACE. Got my shirt right here. Really great tabletop gaming conference. I want to give you a little synopsis of my trip. I'll just tell some stories. We're going to start off with the big one. So Friday night, we had the meet and greet with the YouTube tabletop crafter type people like myself. We were going around the room at the beginning of it, started introducing ourselves. It got to me, and then we did the surprise induction of V, the Crafting Muse, as the new 5th Guildmaster of the Tabletop Crafters Guild. If you're new to this channel or this stuff, the link in the description below for the Facebook group, you should go join Tabletop Crafters Guild. But anyway, the video you're about to see picks up right at that moment. And terrain and stuff too, so you can find me. Quick pop quiz. Who can name the members of the Tabletop Crafters Guild?
It's you and Scotty and Gareth and Philippa.
Close. No cigar.
5
minutes from now, there's going to be a new banner on the group.
Trick question.
And it's going to look like this. Cool.
And we had this made for V. He'll be doing it, and he does. Shoot, what's his? I'm trying to total blank. What's
You're
his?
asking the wrong person.
Okay, so he does all kinds of cool wood stuff, and so it's like a DM screen. So it has your indoctrination, your date, your channel, and then on one panel it has the Tabletop Crafters Guild, and on another panel it has all our channels.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
Sorry.
Well deserved.
Yeah.
Let me
Very
check
well
the
deserved,
focus.
Nice.
Oh, my camera.
So one of the big features of the con was the terrain competition. A dozen or so entrants got a box full of ingredients, all the classics, foam, chipboard, popsicle sticks, stuff like that. And of course a lot of people used the box itself, but they had 22 hours, and at the end we voted for best in show, first and second runners up, and then also best paint job and best use of glue. The prizes were epic, including a 3D printer donated by Danny Herrera of 3D Printed Tabletop, various Proxen tools, including a hot wire table, an Army Painter mega set, and some other goodies. Matt Halstead took the grand prize. And this was a pretty hilarious surprise. Crippled God Games sent the Crafting Muse some custom sculpted miniatures of herself, myself, and DM Scotty. She gave them to us at the con. Look at that. If you've never had your likeness sculpted before, I gotta say it is a pretty weird feeling. One afternoon while killing time, Scotty ran his Death Trap dungeon scenario, think like the Saw movies. He used the very tiles and terrain that he made in those recent October vids. I got to see him in action, clip-on features and all. My character died not too long in, which is fine because I had to get ready to run my game. Speaking of which, I'll be doing an episode soon showing off the terrain properly and explaining the scenario, but in short, I ran a 3rd level D&D 5th edition session that took place in a glass city built in the shape of a mile-wide funnel about to be subject to invasion from a previously unidentified frozen Cthulhu-like plane of existence. I ran it once for our crew, and then a second time for con attendees. Went great. Episode soon. Lots of cool vendors. For a con with attendance of about 700, the amount of stuff to see was really impressive. Was everything I had not to start emptying my wallet, especially when I saw Halstead's leather journals. I did end up getting some Citadel paints because they were 3 for $5, which is an absolute steal. Friday night was the big one, DM Jim's game, the Tabletop Engineer. It was a 7th level D&D 5th game called One Night in Richter's Cemetery, but suffice it to say it took quite a left turn. After starting out as a fairly standard werewolves terrorizing the hamlet type of thing, and going to the nearby cemetery whose groundskeeper had recently died, we eventually found ourselves aboard a UFO hacking apart ray gun wielding aliens. I made the mistake of role-playing my character a little too true, a complete hater of all things magic, and destroyed the nearest infernal contraption I could see, not realizing that it was one of the engines. Then a containment shield went up and most of us died. Didn't even get to be fully, properly abducted. My bad. Awesome game. You can watch it here. I'll put a card on the screen. The whole thing was a lot of fun. It's weird to meet close friends for the first time in person. YouTube and Facebook tend to have that effect. In particular, I met Danny Herrera for the first time in person, and he interviewed us YouTube crafters. If you want to see it, I'll put a card on the screen. You can check it out there. So that was my trip to Charlotte. Huge thanks to Jeff Smith and Ron McClung, the masterminds behind the whole event. Appreciate the invite. Ron, thank you very much for introducing me to Savage Worlds and Flash Gordon at the same time. That was a really fun game to be in. Next year, I'll stack chairs, I'll do workshops, whatever you guys want me to do. So, thanks for joining me. I'm Wyloch. I'll see you next time.